Hello, Braj.
हाँ दीदी, गुड इवनिंग।
Good evening. Good evening. Anybody's joined?
मैम बस ये मैम ने ज्वाइन किया है।
I'm
शलीनी
here. I'm here. Very much here.
Hi.
हाँ,
Hi, Chana. How are you? Wow, looking.
शलीनी also joined. She is in between patients, but she had joined.
Who is joined? Who has joined?
Shalinia.
Shalinia from
Okay.
Shillong.
Shillong, Shillong,
Hi,
Shillong.
Shalinia. How are you? I spoke to her in the morning. So it is 4:27. So 3 minutes. So who is joining Dr. Braj Abhi right now?
मैडम मेरी बात हुई है डॉक्टर आभा रानी मैम से। डॉक्टर बसप को मैंने मैसेज किया है। डॉक्टर प्रणय फुकान को भी मैसेज किया है। बाकी से शलिनिया ने बात की है। आई
Okay.
होप शलिनिया आपकी बात हो गई सबसे। हेलो।
She's on mute. You just have to write on the chat that she's on mute.
Hello, yes, ma'am. I've already talked to everyone, like all the chairpersons. They said they'll be joining, but I couldn't get through Dr. Shashwati because ma'am was online. Maybe she's in another this thing, but she has seen that I have told her that the
हेलो,
meeting is
ये
actually
सब बोलो।
4:30.
हम्म 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 हम्म। नहीं नहीं मैडम, आपको पर्सनल लिंक आई होगी।
Maybe I'll
मेल पे
just
आई
call.
होगी मैम।
Let me just call madam.
मैम मैं आपको नंबर दे रही हूँ, आप वो फॉर्मेट वाले से बात कर लो बिकॉज मेरे को थोड़ा अब ये। हाँ ठीक
मुझे बोल रहे हो ब्रज?
है। नहीं मैडम, साधना
Oh.
मैडम का कॉल आ रहा है कि मेरे को लिंक नहीं मिली।
वो मेल पर ही चेक करना पड़ेगा उनको।
मैम बोल दिया उनको कि मेल पे है वो। अब
मेल पे ही है, मेल पे ही है। अर्चना,
सुदीप
अर्चना,
सुदीप
otherwise
इज
how
वेरी
do you?
पर्टिकुलर. सुदीप हमेशा चीजें बिल्कुल समय पे भेजते हैं.
हाँ.
यस मैम।
मुझे तो कभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई उनके साथ वेबिनार करने.
कि हम
I talked to Dr. Shashwati. She said she'll just be joining now. Yeah.
थैंक यू so
Hello.
much. It's fantastic. You can connect with your patient and connect with the colleagues at the same time, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Fantastic.
I think the webinars have made the life easy, isn't it?
Agree. Because Archana, it has only started in the COVID
Yes,
time.
we were the
Yes,
pioneer for this, our batch.
yes, yes, during the
Because
time,
Alpesh Gandhi and all our team of
Alpesh
vice
Gandhi.
presidents.
Alpesh
हाय
Gandhi.
डॉक्टर सरस्वती मैम, गुड इवनिंग।
Hello,
Hi,
ma'am.
good evening,
Hi,
Dr. Saswati.
good evening, Shashwati.
How are you?
Hi.
Hi. I'm fine.
So still at the college?
Still in the house, yeah.
Yes, I know.
Inspection work, lot of work.
Oh,
Oh,
how are
Is
you,
very
madam?
busy nowadays with inspection and all college work. So
College
she
work.
said, I will join as chairperson only.
but congratulations to all people in Assam for reducing the maternal mortality.
Oh, thank you
I
so
think
much.
it is phenomenal achievement. And I was talking to the apna many people in Assam, and they say it was like everyone's effort. It's not only like government was the instrumental, but all public private partnership, and
Good evening,
there was
Abha ma'am.
somebody motivating them. So really good.
नमस्ते मैम।
हेलो
Abha
हेलो
ma'am.
Namaskar,
हेलो हेलो
namaskar, madam. Namaskar.
हेलो
Hello, madam.
शाश्वती जी.
Hi.
Everybody has to work, private, public sector, everybody
हाय
should
हाय
work jointly. That, hi,
Hi,
madam.
Good
Abha
evening,
ji.
शशिकला मैम।
Pranam.
हाय
Pranam, Abha di.
हाय
Hi.
नमस्ते. हेलो अर्चना. कैसा चल
प्रणाम
रहा
दीदी।
है?
बिल्कुल अच्छा चल रहा है। आप हमेशा मुझे कार में ही
एकदम
दिखती हो यार। आप मतलब कभी कभी चेयर पे बैठी होती हो कि नहीं?
अभी उनका लौटने का टाइम है 4 बजे, तो फिर तो मुझे तो कार में रहना ही पड़ेगा ना। अरे वाह।
Actually, it
अब
is
हमको
nice to
बैंक
see
से फिर
something
मैं
good
इतना दूर
about
कैसे
Assam,
करती है?
हम्म।
ये मेरा
Every
काम
time
से
I
लौटने का
always
टाइम
hear,
है।
every time we always hear कि आपका इतना ज्यादा मैटरनल मॉर्निंग, ये तो फर्स्ट टाइम मैं सुन रही हूँ। मुझे इतना खुशी हो रहा है कि मैं बता नहीं सकती।
क्या खुशी
नहीं,
हो रहा
सही
है
में बता रही हूँ, सही बता रही हूँ कि बहुत
our
अच्छा,
aim should
सच्ची में।
be
क्या चीज का खुशी
actually
है शाश्वती जी?
सर गुड इवनिंग सर। यस सर।
मतलब मेरे साथ अरुण अरुण दा थे, अरुण माधव बरुआ सर, and
आई
he
एम
was also very happy.
कॉलिंग डॉक्टर मैम हीरालाल सर इज जॉइनिंग इन अ मोमेंट।
Okay, so then good, then we can start off.
We can start. Yes. Mr. Sudeep, you are here.
Yes, ma'am.
Sudeep ji, someone
Ma'am.
is here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We can start
Thank
the lamp lighting.
Yes, sir. We'll just wait for a moment. Let Dr. Hiralal sir join. Then we will start.
Okay.
And one another good thing about webinars are they start on time.
yes, usually. It's always, not usually. It's really so good to meet us. You're sitting in our home, we are in the clinic.
Ma'am, I think sir had joined. No, not yet.
It's Brajbala's effort. Huh? She took lot of efforts along with Shalinia to collect everyone.
Yes, from
It's required efforts.
Yeah, Brajbala, now I got the link and now I'm
Hi,
able
Dr.
to join.
Sadhna.
Hi,
Good evening.
hi, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Alok sir.
Good evening, madam.
Good
Good
evening, good
evening, Dr.
evening,
Alok.
good evening.
Nice to
Hello,
see
good evening,
everyone.
Chandan Didi.
Welcome.
Just hold on, sir.
Hi.
I'm calling Mr. Sudeep. Sudeep ji,
Yes, ma'am.
सर को आपने होस्ट नहीं किया है क्या? कुनार सर ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रहे हैं।
No, I'll send the personalized link to him.
Please send urgently or
Otherwise,
accept
we can send our link on the group and he can pick up from the group or
सर को
something.
ईमेल पे वापस से भेजो।
Yeah.
सर
सर का ईमेल करेक्ट है कि नहीं है?
ये सर सेंडिंग अगेन सर।
Is he added in the group?
Yes, madam, he is added in the group, but sir wants on mail only, and I sent on mail again.
No problem. It will take a while. It will happen. Don't worry.
Nee, when it is sent on the group, it's not, we have to start with the email only. Anupama, she may not join.
क्या हुआ दी?
Anupama, she's in US, ना?
नहीं मैम, वहाँ पे रात है, अभी सुबह के 5 बजे वो नहीं ज्वाइन करेगी।
नहीं कर पाएगी
हाँ।
नहीं कर पाएगी। हाँ, नहीं कर पाएगी।
Just waiting for sir to join only.
I'll send the mail to him.
Okay, Sudeep ji, thank you.
I also sent whatever you sent to me na previously. So
Actually, the link and all is not there. Just he has to press on that Zoom slide, then it will automatically.
Deep ji, will you call sir once?
It's not like a link. It is just, it says join our cloud HD video meeting. If you press that, you will join. Good to see you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for accepting invitation. Sir had joined, I think. We can start now. Sir is visible here. Good evening, sir. Namaste, sir. Sir, you're muted.
Hi, Dr. Sasikala. How
Sir,
are
you
you?
need to unmute. Yes, sir.
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good,
Shall we
good.
start now?
Yeah.
So, why not?
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Making it live.
Sudeep ji.
Let's start with the lamp lightning and then.
Yeah, I'll make it live.
Good evening, Dr. Archana.
Good evening, Dr. Kunar. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, we are going
Sudeep
to
ji,
keep
will
you
you
busy.
invite
Once you are
our
president, you'll be busy.
Shipra,
Hello.
our MOC Shipra? Sudeep ji, will you invite her? Yeah.
Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So greeting to all respected faculty members. Dr. Archana Basir, ma'am, Chairperson MPSR, Vice President Foxy 2020, Dr. Hiralal Konar, sir, President National ISOPARB, Dr. Abharani Sinha, ma'am, Secretary National ISOPARB, Dr. Kola Shashikala, ma'am, President Elect ISOPARB, ISOPARB Indore Office Bearers, Dr. Chandan Pavaria, ma'am, Founder President Indore Chapter, Dr. Anupama Dave, ma'am, President Indore Chapter, Dr. Brajwala Tiwari, ma'am, Secretary Indore Chapter, and Dr. Sadhana Mehta, ma'am, Treasurer Indore Chapter, and distinguished speakers, chairpersons, and delegates. On behalf of ISOPARB Indore Chapter, I warmly welcome you to today's webinar on environment, climate, and reproductive health. As healthcare professionals, we recognize the growing impact of environmental factors on reproductive outcomes, making this discussion more timely and relevant. We are honored by the presence of our esteemed experts and participants whose support and contributions make this academic event even possible. So before we begin the session, I request you all to join us for ceremonial lamp lighting. Please play the video. So thank
Good
you.
evening, Dr. Ava.
So thank you for joining us. Now to begin the session, I invite Dr. Shalinia ma'am. She is immediate past president Shillong Obs Gynae Society, East Zone Coordinator for Environmental Health Committee Foxy 2026, Chairperson of Foxy East Zonal Conference with UR 2025, and a faculty in various regional and national conferences. So now I request Dr. Shalinia ma'am as coordinator of webinar to take the program forward by inviting respected Dr. Brajwala Tiwari ma'am for briefing of webinar. I wish everyone for an informative and enriching webinar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank
Dr.
you very
Shalinia ma'am.
much. Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Shipra, for that kind introduction. And I would like to start this webinar by inviting Dr. Brajwala Tiwari. Madam is a consultant gynecologist and infertility specialist and a credentialed menopause practitioner. She's a managing director of Life Care Hospital Limited, Indore, and Santati Infertility and Test Tube Baby Center in Indore, and the LCH Nursing Academy in Indore. She is the chairperson at present of the Foxy Environmental Health Committee 2025 to 2027. She has been the secretary of MPSR 2025 to 2027 and the secretary of ISOPARB Chapter Indore in the past, that is 2023 to 25. She is the past president of Indore Obs Gynae Society, the vice president of Indore Menopause Chapter, past vice
Shalinia.
president. Madam, your credentials is immense.
Thank you,
So Madam
Shalinia.
very
Thank you so much.
is an active member of Foxy and very well known. So it's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to have worked with you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Shalinia. Good evening, respected President Dr. Hiralal Konar sir, our chief guest Dr. Abharani Sinha Madam, Secretary ISOPARB Indore National, and President-elect Dr. Shashikala Ma'am, for your gracious presence. And as we have celebrated Environment Day on 5th of June, and this is in continuation with that environment and climate is playing a lot of role in everyone's health, particularly women and child health. So for that, we are today with this webinar on different aspects of environmental pollution on women's health. So I request our convener, Dr. Archana Baser, Madam. She is well-known figure in Foxy, and Madam is presidential candidate this year for Foxy president. And Madam has served Foxy in various positions. She's past VP of Foxy. She has been chair to CEFOC, and she has been associated with Imaging Science Committee Foxy, and past president Indore Gynae Society, and currently Madam is president MP chapter ISAR. So I invite Dr. Archana Baser Madam for as she is the convener for today's webinar, to invite our chief guest and guest. Over to you, Baser ma'am.
A very good evening to all of you. At the outset, let me thank all of you for joining on this platform, and I would like to thank ISOPARB, National ISOPARB officials to have joined in for this webinar. So I warmly welcome all of Dr. Hiralal
मेरा लग
Kumar,
नहीं रहा
Dr. Abharani Sinha, Dr. Shashikala, all the team of Indore ISOPARB, Dr. Chandan, Dr. Braj, Dr. Sadhna Mehta, and our chairpersons, Dr. Saswati, Dr. Alok, and my co-speakers, Dr. Basab Mukherjee, and chairpersons, Dr. Abha, Dr. Prerna Keshan, Dr. Pranay Fukan, Dr. Hafiz Rahman, Dr. Pranavika, and Dr. Lindy and Dr. Helen. And I'm really thankful to Shalinia for really contributed in terms of connecting all to us, and our MOC, our dearest MOC, Dr. Shipra Singh, for really connecting and collecting everyone's CV and helping us in organizing this webinar. As Dr. Brajwala has already said, that there is a great impact of environment on overall health of human being, or for everyone. So the most important impact is on the fertility and reproductive health. And I think this is a very good platform to discuss all the problems, talk about the environment, and the pollutions which are affecting the mental health as well as the physical health of all of us. And we are seeing the repercussion of the changes in the environment. To talk about a little bit about all these things, we have a galaxy of faculty here today. Let me introduce our first chief guest, Dr. Hiralal Konar, on this platform. I have known Dr. Hiralal Konar for very many years, since 2003. I think we are connected when we did our first RCOG conference here, and he was here with us at Indore. Since then, we are in connect, and he is currently the president, National ISOPARB. He is member Oncology Committee AOFOG and Foxy representative AOFOG. He was in 2018 and 19, and he had been chairperson of ICOG in 2013. He was president of Bengal Obs and Gynae Society, and the feather on his cape is Pride of Foxy Award 2019 for exemplary work towards upliftment of women's health in India. And he has authored textbooks in obstetrics, gynec, and manuals of obs and gynae. And I congratulated him on his topic in our jogi on the environment. So that's from where I knew that he's working on this, but I knew that he's the one who is the right person to connect with for this topic, environment, pollution, and reproductive health. So over to you, Professor Hiralal Konar, for addressing our audience today.
Good evening, Dr. Archana. thank you, Archana, Salinia, Brajwala, over the long periods that you are working to have the CME in Indore. And I am so happy to see that it has been successfully organized. And really, I am happy to see so many topics. Division of topics on environmental health has been considered. Merely that I was interested totally on that of the atmospheric environment pollution and that of the impact on the reproductive life. So you have considered the sound, noise, the air, everything. So that has got significant impact that we need to know. Now then, I welcome our office bearers, Dr. Abharani Sinha, the Secretary General, Madam Sosikala Kola, that incoming President, and the ISOPARB members of Indore, Dr. Chandan, Dr. Anupama Dabe, the President of Indore's chapter, Brajbala Theory, that she's working hard since the beginning, communicating now and then, and the other coordinators, Dr. Salinia, Dr. Sipra Singh, and I am really happy that the program has stressed more on that of the speakers from the different parts of the country, the zones, especially that of the remote part of the northeast and that of the east. So to say that Dr. Shashwati Sannal Chaudhary, well-known teacher, professor from Guwahati, I think the photo is Dr. Apurva or Dr. Alokdev. The photo that it is here, it looks like Dr. Apurva Das. Anyhow, the topics that you have selected, noise pollution, and that important speaker, Dr. Basa Mukherjee from Calcutta, I know him, we are associated like you over the years, and the chairpersons, there has been considered that the Alka Banerjee and Dr. Prerna Kenan, and I could see the another topic, EDC and fertility. And that speaker is Dr. Pranay Fukan from Dibrugarh. And the members that they are from the northeast and that of the far east, we all request, we wish that ISOPARB to be enriched by their contribution and their participation. So Dr. Pranay Fukan, Professor Fukan, is the head of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology in Dibrugarh. We are friends long years. So Dr. Fukan, we will request you, and I could see Dr. Hafiz is there from the Sikkim. We are also friends over the years. Dr. Pranobika Mahanta is there, and the other topic is that of environmental toxins and the reproductive health. Speaker herself, Dr. Brajabala Theory, and Dr. Lini, and that of the Helen Kamai. Helen Kamai, I called her the other day regarding encouraging her regarding that involvement of the Imphal, Manipur, the Central Institute of Postgraduate and the Medical Education, to become open up a chapter there. And Helen, I would request you again she has become the member that very day. Thereafter, she tried, and with her colleagues, she is the member of the ISOPARB Society. So I would request you all that you are here participating in this program and contributing this program. Be a member and also try to open up its chapters at your region so that ISOPARB expands growingly with the contribution of academic part as well as helping the patient's care. So these are the two motives that we are doing. So thanks again to that of Indore ISOPARB chapter for having this CME and encouraging people and contributing to the academic part as well as the patient care on behalf of ISOPARB. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Professor Konar, for you advising us on making more chapters of ISOPARB. I think that is needed. And through these webinars, through connecting with the different societies, I'm sure we should be able to reach out this message to different parts of the country. As you rightly said, that we have got the different parts of the Assam Northeast today, and I'm sure you have a good presence in the Northeast already, and it can be further enhanced. And now I'm going to invite the Secretary General of ISOPARB, Dr. Abha Singh, Dr.
Sinha.
Abha Rani Sinha, for her address. Can I have Dr. Abha Rani Sinha's? Yeah.
Can we request Dr. Chandan, madam, to invite
Yeah.
Dr. Abha Rani, ma'am?
Yeah, please, Dr. Chandan, do the honors and invite Professor. I will just say one word about Abhadi, that she is the kindest person I have seen, and she's the person, whenever you call, she will always respond with, yes, you can do it. So over to you, Chandandi, to formally
Thank
introduce
you.
Professor Abha.
Thank you, Dr. Archana. Thank you, Dr. Brad, Dr. Selenia. And I am really very much thankful to the National Office Bear, Dr. Kunar, Dr. Avarani, uh, Dr. Kala, and everybody, the audience, and I welcome you all on behalf of ISOPARB Indore. Abha Rani, I think she's most busy. She's always traveling, and we used to see this to while traveling. And she's a professor, RDGM Medical College, Muzaffarnagar. She's the ex-professor of Gynae, Muzaffarnagar, SKMCH Hospital. She's the vice president of Foxy 2026. She's Secretary General ISOPART 26 to 28. And she's the past chair quiz committee Foxy 15 to 17. She's the ICOG GC member 21 to 23. She's the NSC Jogi in 21 to 20. She has so many credits and her career and so many stars on her crown. So I invite Dr. Abarali and I really welcome you. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Jantan, for your kind introduction.
You are still traveling. You are so busy and lots and
No,
lots.
it takes about 1 hour for me to reach my place. So I just started at 4:30. So thank you, Dr. Chandan, for inviting me. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the Indore Ops and Indore ISOPARB chapter for conducting this webinar, and
thank you, madam. Thank you very much for joining us.
Especially Dr. Archana, the convener.
Dr. Archana, she is very dynamic, an academician of the
Indore
Indore
Brajbala, who is
Society.
also the chairperson of the all the best in her future endeavor. And my regards to the press, Shashikala Kola, and all the office bearers of Indore ISOPA, the founder president, Dr. Chandan, the present president, Dr. Anupama Dave, Dr. Brajbala Tiwari, and Dr. Sadhna Mehta. And today we have speakers from Northeast, from East, Dr. Bhaskar, Dr. Basa Mukherjee. And I can see many of our colleagues who have joined from the Northeast. My best wishes to all of them. And today's subject is very important. That is environment pollution and reproductive health. We all know that environmental pollution can occur anyways, through water, through food, through cosmetics, anyway. And all these toxins, they can affect the reproductive health either by causing hormonal disruption or by causing oxidative stress or causing changes in genetics, epigenetics, and of course directly. So it's very important that we take care and prevent this environmental pollution so that we can have a healthy mother and a healthy baby. I think that is our ultimate aim. And so, Dr. Brajbala, thank you for taking up this subject. And we have all very good speakers. We are all keen to hear to them. So over to the organizers.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your blessings and your gracious presence. And you are always helping whenever any need by anyone. You are always helping us. Thank you so much, ma'am. So may I request our treasurer of Indore ISOPAB chapter, Dr. Sadhna Mehta, ma'am. She will be introducing our next guest, the President-elect ISOPAB, Dr. Shashi Kala, ma'am. So, Dr. Sadhna, ma'am, are you here?
Yes.
So, ma'am, will you please introduce
Yes.
Dr. Shashikala, ma'am?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Konar. Good evening, Dr. Abharani Sinha, madam. It's a great pleasure of introducing Dr. Kola Sasikala. It's a great topic. It's a burning topic of air pollution and reproductive health, as well as general health also. It is affected because of air pollution and other environmental factors. So I would like to invite Dr. Kola Sasikala. She is MD DGO Usmania Medical College. She is a consultant gynecologist and obstetrician, uh, birthright by Rainbow Hospital and Banjara Hills, Hyderabad. She's working at Hyderabad and she's the past joint secretary vice president of OGHS OXI, then past secretary vice president, president ISOPARB Hyderabad chapter, past South Zone coordinator for ISOPARB, past vice president ISOPARB, and president-elect ISOPARB National for 2027 to 2028. And her field of interest are endoscopic surgery, vaginal surgery, high-risk obstetrics, and she has contributed chapters for postgraduate textbooks in obstetrics and gynecology. So it's great to hear you. So I invite you for this important webinar of ISOPARB. Please.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for making me a part of this wonderful webinar by ISOPARB Indore chapter. I'm very happy to be a part of this group, and I don't want to stand between the scientific session and because we'll be running late. We are getting short of time. I'm seeing all familiar faces, and of course this topic is very, very important because now we are seeing more and more pollution happening and more use of cosmetics and cleanliness products. All these are not only disrupting our endocrine system, they're also disturbing our microbiome, the body microbiome, which again indirectly is affecting our endocrine system. So we are looking forward to listening to all these great speakers on the air pollution and noise pollution, endocrine disruptive chemicals and environmental toxins and their effect on the reproductive health of the women. So I think without further ado, I'm very happy. I wish this seminar all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I request Dr. Basia, ma'am, just to convey thanks to our guest. Then we will start our academic session.
Yes, sure. So thank you very much, Dr. Sasikala. It was really nice to have you here on this platform because it is very, very important to, as you said, that environment is something which we have to take into consideration, and pollution, something like prevention is better. So, if you want to give the next generation good, healthy atmosphere and environment to really sustain, I think it is need of the hour that we protect our environment and control the pollution today so that it will really help the next generations and even us also. And thank you very much for joining in today. It was nice and it was really we were glad to see you here.
Thank you, ma'am. So now we shall be starting our academic session. So for our first talk, I request Dr. Shipra to introduce her chairpersons for first topic. Dr. Shipra, are you here?
Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Shipra, will you introduce our chairperson for first session?
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure to invite the chairpersons for the first session. Professor Surasiti Sanyal Chaudhary, ma'am. Ma'am is Professor, Department of ONG, Guwahati Medical College, Chairperson, Medical Education Committee 2013 to 15, Vice President, ISOPARB 2020 to 22, Past President, ISOPARB Assam Chapter, Past Chairman, NESR, Past President, GOGS, Member of Editorial Board, New Delhi, Journal of OBGYN. So my next chairperson is Alok Dev sir. Sir is MBBS DGO and currently he is president of Shillong OBGYN Society. So now I request our respected chairpersons to please welcome our speaker for the first session, Dr. Archana Basir.
One second to beg my excuse. I confused Dr. Dev with
Yes,
one
sir.
of our colleague Apurva. You both people look same, so I was just in doubt whether it is Dr. Alok Dev or somebody else.
Apurva is from Guwahati, sir. Yes, sir. He's from Nalbari.
Sorry, sir.
Dr. Apurva is from Nalbari. I am from
No, that is not the same Apurva. There is another Apurva from
Dhanbad.
Assam.
Apurva Datto.
Apurva Datta.
Sir.
Yeah, great. Good name, common name. You are all friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I?
Yes, madam, please.
Okay. Thank you so much for including me as the chairperson of this prestigious webinar, where I know the environmental pollutants or any pollutant for that reason is important. We have worked with endocrine disrupting factors like parabens and methyl parabens in relation to polycystic ovarian disease as well as endometriosis. We have some positive correlation between these two. So it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Archana Baser as the speaker, and her topic is air pollution and reproductive health. Dr. Archana.
At work hard. But I was thinking if I could be allowed after Archana for
Dr. Alok, can you just introduce her as a
I think
Dr. Alok?
I'm already being
Yes,
introduced.
ma'am, I am
Dr.
here.
Shashwati.
Thank you.
Okay, then you can go ahead to
Yeah,
say that.
I think let's not delay the scientific
Waste the
program.
time.
At the outset, let me thank Dr. Shashwati and Dr. Alok Dev for joining as a chairperson for this webinar and sparing their time. So let me get straight onto the topic: climate change, pollution, and fertility health. So this is me, and I request all of you to support me for Foxy Presidential Election 2026. So climate change, health impact. Climate change is the biggest threat of the century to the health. And we are witnessing global warming, heat-related illnesses, cardiovascular diseases, respiratory disease and asthma, zoonotic vector and waterborne diseases, mental and neurological disorders, and injuries and death. There are pregnancy and climate change like preterm birth, low birth weight, stillbirth, effect on the brain development that are all being reported. Now the roadmap of my talk is pollution to solution, how you can really have a solution to the problem of pollution. So effect of pollution on fertility, that I'm going to be covering. Now our key concerns are our three essentials: water, air, and food. They're all polluted. Environmental toxins, how they disrupt fertility, and our role as an obstetrician and gynecologist in helping to solve this pollution issue. An increasing number of couples are finding conception more difficult, as all of us are being noticing it. We have been practicing for more than 3 decades, and of lately we have seen that there has been an increase in the number of infertility problems. So approximate incidence is 7 to 10%, and the research is quite clear that meals and chemicals in air, water, food, and health and beauty aids are damaging fertility in many ways. And these toxicants are causing men to experience relentlessly decreasing sperm count and function, while women are suffering progressively worse anovulation, impaired implantation, and miscarriages. So, what are the environmental toxins and how they really cause infertility? There are endocrine disruptors. They damage to the female reproductive system, damage to the male reproductive system. They impair the fetal viability, and this damage is not only decreases natural fertility, but remember, it also makes in vitro fertilization much less likely to succeed. So, how do the environmental factors affect fertility? There is pollution everywhere. When there is a pollution, like there is an industrial smoke coming out, there is a pollution in the water because the whatever the waste comes from the industries, it gets into the circulation through the water. And there are endocrine disruptors. The key endocrine disruption impairing fertility is loss of blood sugar control, which manifests clinically directly as metabolic syndrome, and diabetes, and indirectly as abdominal obesity in men and PCO in women. Women with PCO, lower fertility, that causes that is PIH. There is gestational diabetes, fetal growth restriction, preterm. There are increase in NICU admission, and perinatal mortality is also happening. There are chemicals causing infertility. As a woman's blood level of hexachlorocyclohexane polychlorinated bisphenols, PCBs, and DDT increases, their fertility goes down. Women with highest levels of PCBs have a serious 50% decrease in their ability to get pregnant, and if they become pregnant, are much more likely to miscarry. When infertile couples seeks IVF, those with the highest level of PCBs were much more likely to achieve pregnancies. Water contamination, non-occupational exposure is much more common and clearly a problem. Women drinking groundwater with tetrachloroethylene contamination suffers over a doubled risk of spontaneous abortion as well as an increased risk of breast cancer. Now, our water is also contaminated. Chlorination of drinking water was a huge public health success, but also caused some unexpected problems. This method of disinfection typically produces 4-trihalomethane compounds: chloroform, bromdichloromethane, chlordiamethane, and bromoform, as well as other non-THM compounds. Drinking chlorinated water is associated with an increased risk of stillbirth. Women drinking chlorinated water were far more likely to deliver a child with smaller body length and smaller head circumference. Air pollution. An obvious cause of toxin exposure in the air is tobacco use. As we know that tobacco use is increasing amongst women as well. And since tobacco smoking contains many toxic metals and chemicals, determining which is worse is not clear. Smoking also causes higher rates of ectopic pregnancy, spontaneous abortion, stillbirths, and infant mortality. Cigarette smoking also decreases male fertility, resulting in decreased sperm density, total sperm count, and number of motile sperms. Air pollution. The problem is not just active choices, but passive ones as well, such as living near a busy roadways. The closer a woman lives near a highway, the higher her rate of infertility. Even brief exposure to elevated levels of PM10 particulate increases the rate of miscarriage. Air pollution from vehicular exhaust are associated with reduced fertility in males as well. So, men residing in an industrial town suffered significant reduction in sperm motility and morphology and higher levels of sperm with abnormal chromatin when compared with those living in a rural district with a little air pollution. Is your food safe? This presentation reveals just the tip of an iceberg of toxin-induced infertility. Simply consuming foods with a high pesticide level is enough to decrease fertility by a surprising amount. We need to become aware of how common environmental pollutants impair health and increase incidence of virtually every disease. The damage not only decreases natural fertility, but also makes IVF much less likely to succeed, and the worst fertility disruptors are organochlorine compounds. There are many other chemicals, metals, and air pollutants seriously damages the fertility. So the risk of infertility is progressively escalating over the years, and it has been established that exposure to environmental pollutants is closely linked to infertility. Now is our time to point out the way to a brighter future. Our ideas, collaborative work, and innovative mindset will lay the path for all fertility specialists and our patients to follow. I think that is our responsibility. So, what as an obstetrician and gynecologist we can do? Number one, we should be informed ourselves that the air pollution is affecting the fertility and what are the pollutants which are there, and the most important thing when we are taking the history, like where the patient is residing and whether it is being exposure to the toxins, air water toxins which they are being exposed to. Educate the patients, educate the couples, educate the population as a whole that yes, we have to reduce the pollution, and we should advocate, we should engage ourselves in the research about the pollutions, and then the most important step is the prevention, so that the next generation remembers us as the people who acted upon in time to prevent the long-term damages caused by the pollution and gave us a better pollution, a better environment where we can live. So what can we do? Like, as I said, advocate for policies to prevent exposure to toxic environmental chemicals, work to ensure a healthy food system for all, make environmental health part of healthcare. FIGO, AFO, FOXY, all are working for the betterment of environment. And we also can start from today how to have a good environment. There are lots of publications about the environmental health. And I think in the Jogi, they have published an article in 2024 that impact of climate change, environmental toxin and pollution on the AOFOG region, what can OBGYN do? Here you can see a beautiful picture of our environmental committee chair, Dr. Brejbala, along with the Krishnendu sir. So this is what, like even our Foxy has started, and they have come up with this committee, and this committee is really working wonderful. And many of the faculties who have joined in today are part of the environmental health committee and working towards a better environment. So I think this is our very important step to prevent our surroundings and to work for the better environment. So what other obstetricians and gynecologists are doing? The plant a tree, plant a hope for the future generation. A mangrove to improve. Plant one tree for every newborn and soon to be born. You must be seeing it on the social media or on the different media platforms where we are distributing the plants to the women who are going home with the babies, or even nowadays in our programs, rather than giving the shields and all, we are giving the plants to the faculty members. And I think these are the steps which are already being taken by our associations and by our federation as well. So this is very important step which is being taken. And I think a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We all should pitch in and plant the trees and solve this problem of pollution by planting more and more trees. And wherever the trees are cut, I think what I have seen in the once I was in I think one European country, what they do, if they are cutting few trees, they already have planted a similar number of trees at other place before they are cutting the trees, if they are coming in the way where they have to develop the roadways. I think that kind of a solution should be there to help with the environment. And just to summarize, investing in the health of women is investing in the health of current and future generations. We as an obstetrician and gynecologist are providing care for individual patients, guiding women's health services. We are leading global efforts to reduce maternal morbidity and mortality, reducing cervical cancer. We are directing global fistula programs. We are championing reproductive health access, eliminating exposure to toxic chemicals, or being a voice in the fight against climate change. We are uniquely qualified to advocate, teach, and provide research on behalf of women. So we are very much empowered people as an obstetrician and gynecologist, and we really can make a difference if we take this into our portfolio, that we have to really improve our environment and reduce the pollution. Thank you very much. Nestle Nurture Nature in the Art. This is a very, very good graphics designed by our incoming president, Dr. Jayashree Sridhar, for IOGS's relative. And so with this, I would like to thank you all for patience listening. Let's all work together for better environment around us. And I request you all to vote and support for me for Foxy presidential candidate. I'll be with you, I'll be for you, and I'll be by your side. And I'm really grateful for your trust over the years. With your support, I'm advancing in Foxy together, and let's make a better environment by controlling the pollution around us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an excellent presentation, highlighting the crucial link between air pollution and reproductive health and its prevention too. Your expertise and insights are truly appreciated. Now I request our chairpersons to conclude the session, please.
Can we request Dr. Hiralal Konar sir, because sir has to leave, so if he wish to give his expert remark, Konar sir.
Can I share the
leave.
slides?
Yeah.
Can I share the slides?
Yes, sir.
I think we can conclude this session that it was such an excellent lecture. After that, sir can have his presentation. So thank you
Okay.
so much.
Can we
Archana
request
ma'am, well spoken,
chairperson?
madam.
Yeah.
Thank
we
you. Thank
request
you, Dr.
chairperson?
Alok. Thank you, Dr. Sashwati, for
Thank you,
being
madam.
here with us.
Should I start now?
Sir, can we ask Dr. Alok to conclude the
All right.
first session? Sir, Alok sir, will you
Yes,
give
madam. Yes, madam. Archana madam, nice to see you here, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Alok. Thank you so much for
Our good
coming.
wishes are there. It was an excellent talk, ma'am.
Thank you.
Highlighting very well. Thank you, ma'am. And good wishes from our side, ma'am. Northeast will always vouch for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So over to you, Konar sir.
Right, you are. Thank you very much. The environmental pollution and reproductive health impact, the cause for concern. In fact, my experience of environmental pollution came to my mind when we were the students in Calcutta, that I am talking of late 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Huge amount of smoke, fog, and smog, especially the winter period. That has tremendous adverse effect on the health, even the general population, be it female, be it male, obviously with a different degree of severity. So that raised my concern that period. Then when I traveled to other parts of the country like PGI Chandigarh, I studied there, I went to England, I came back to again Darjeeling district. The environment significantly different. And over the years presently, even in Calcutta, late 90s and 2000, it has significantly changed, especially that of the motor vehicles, the use of diesel oil and the huge amount of smoke and pollution. That was the main cause there. And that has improved significantly. And that's the reason I got much interested regarding the environmental pollution and that of the reproductive health. What Madam Archana Baser has said is the same. Probably I have gone to the depth of the etiological basis of the problem. So I have got 5-7 slides I will feed quickly. Growing concern over the human health to start with is the rise of environmental pollution. It could be, Archana has already said, it could be water, it could be air, it could be sanitation related health issues. Progressive industrialization, mind that this is the change of the civilization. Progressive industrialization has caused new pollutants, especially affecting the reproductive health. And pollutants and the pregnancy outcome, definitely it has adverse effect. Maternal fetal inflammatory response, that's the reason I was talking to you, how this pathology affects the pregnancy outcome. Maternal fetal inflammatory response with pollutants affect the pregnancy outcome. So this is the important issue that we should remember. Pregnancy adverse effect, like that person has already said, preterm birth. We often think of that of the inflammation, infections, irritability, but again then the preterm birth of the inflammatory system in the body, FGR, fetal growth restriction, intrauterine fetal death, stillbirth, all have been observed. Pathological process are, as I tell you, that inflammation with that of the pollutants, endocrine dysfunction, all the endocrine organs are affected. Epigenetic changes, this is one another important area that birth defects could be there depending on the severity of pollution. And oxidative and nitrosative stress, placental dysfunction. Even in pregnancy, these pollutants has got their significant impact on the villi. Prospective studies, systemic review, and the meta-analysis have already established exposure to particulate matters and the nanoparticles are due to the oxidative changes to cause DNA mutations, lipid peroxidation, and protein oxidation. These are the basic biochemical alterations of the pollutants in the system. Progressive industrialization and the emergence of heavy metals, microparticles, macroparticles, nanoparticles in atmosphere, in water, and the cause that is in atmosphere as well as in the water, that is a cause for concern, drinking water. Most of the information is based on studies from the industrialized countries. Categories of pollutants, as I have said, atmospheric airborne particulate matters, 2.5, particulate matter stain, nitric oxide, ozone. Mind that this is another one, especially in the environment. Effects of RDS, metabolic and endocrine disorders. I have already mentioned agricultural fertilizers, pesticide, disrupts hormone regulation, disrupts hypothalamo pituitary adrenal ovarian axis. This has got a significant impact on the endocrine pathway. Persistent organic pollution forever chemicals, they are all the worst thing in the system that can damage the body. They have got the significant changes in the reproductive health, meaning that it can affect the menarche, hypothalamo, pituitary, ovarian, adrenal axis that can cause, because of the abnormal pathway, precocious puberty, irregular cycles, even at the end of the breast cancer. In the adolescents, particulate matter 2.5 and particulate matter 10, nitric oxide, ozone, microplastics. This is the concern that at one time every government became concerned about that of the microplastics. That's the reason that the water bottle, plastic bottles has been changed to glass bottles, lead to respiratory distress, disrupt folliculogenesis, and endocrine imbalances. This is the important effect that affects the thyroid gland, adrenal gland, and the ovaries. Regarding fertility, conception, ovarian dysfunction disrupt granulosa cells, alters men's cycle, and decrease uterine receptivity. That's ultimately leads to implantation failure. Micro and the nanoplastics in male that causes that Archana was talking of, oligospermia, asthenospermia, all these problems. Early pregnancy, all the pollutants disrupts angiogenic factors, placental growth factors, and the SFLT1, it is a totally harmful during the course of pregnancy, and it decreases the trophoblast invasion, proliferation, and spiral growth of the spiral arteries. Decreased vascularization, altered epigenetic programs. That's the worst effect during the course of pregnancy, leading to preterm birth or that of the growth restriction, even that of the intrauterine fetal death. Decreased DNA methylation, reduced cord blood, thyroid hormones, disrupts placental function. This is all has been discussed. Early pregnancy, this pollutant disrupts angiogenic factors, as I have told you. And then DNA methylation, decreased DNA methylation, reduced cord blood, thyroid hormones, disrupts placental function. Late pregnancy, as I have already told you, preterm birth, growth restriction, fetal death, placental abruption, blastocyst implantation failures, often there, recurrent implantation failure, P-selectin, heparin sulfate, proteoglycan, epidermal growth factor, integrin, topinin, all are affected. Midlife, what are the changes? Because of the environmental pollution, what are the impact in the midlife? Thyroid dysfunction that has got a significant problem. Metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular problems like hypertension, cardiovascular diseases. Cancers, yes, midlife has got the risk of the pollution effect. Breast cancer, bladder cancer, colorectal cancer. Cellular aging, cell tissue damage due to oxidative and nitrogenative stress. In menopause, you see the significant changes in menopausal symptoms. Apart from that, an accelerated rate of osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, cellular aging, and mitochondrial dysfunction. And categories of pollutants, it could be atmospheric, it could be airborne, particulate matters that I was talking to you, leading to respiratory distress, metabolic endocrine disorders, agricultural fertilizers, especially the pesticides, disrupts hormone regulations, pesticides, and that affects the hormone sequence pathway of hypothalamic pituitary adrenal ovarian axis. Persistent organic pollution, these are called the forever chemicals. Human activities has got the major impact on the global climate and ecosystems. Climate change causes urbanization, industrialization, environmental destruction by deforestation. That's Arjun was stressing that plant a tree before you destroy a tree. And soil erosion affects significantly the global climate ecosystem. Burning fossil fuels, this in India is much less. Coal causes rapidly rising carbon dioxide, nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide, particulate matters, and ozone. That's the important harmful effect on the health. There is rise in temperature. Ambient particulate matters are 5th ranking mortality risk in the world. Ambient particulate matters, mind that 2.5. Overall, human mortality is significantly increased from 1990 to 2015 to rise in due to the rise in ambient particulate matters. So I think this is my last slide. Thank you all for the patient hearing.
Thank you so much, sir, for your all inputs on environmental pollution and its effect and all the research which you have mentioned. So really significant work is going on and we need to do a lot. So grateful for your input, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Base, ma'am. So may I request Dr. Shalinia or Shipra to go ahead with the next session.
So we will be going to the
Shalinia,
next.
yeah, please, you
We'll be
invite
going to the
next
next session. That is the second session of this webinar, that is noise pollution and reproductive health. And I would like to invite our distinguished chairperson, Dr. Alaka Banerjee. Madam is the Associate Professor in the Department of Obs and Gynae in Silchar Medical College. She is at present the Secretary of Silchar Obs and Gynae Society. She's a recognized undergraduate and postgraduate teacher and examiner faculty in many national and state conferences and has had many publications in many journals. And she's a life member of IMA. I welcome you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
I also would like to invite our next chairperson, Dr. Prerna Kishan. Dr. Prerna is the secretary of the Dibrugarh chapter of ISOPARB. She is also the national coordinator of the Young Talent Promotion Committee, FOXY. And at present, actually, Prerna has been elected to be the chairperson for FOXY Young Talent Promotion Committee this year, since her post was uncontested. So I welcome you, Prerna.
Thank you. Thank you, Shalinia.
So I
Shall we
hand
proceed?
over the session to you to kindly introduce the speaker, Dr. Basant.
Wishing you all a very good evening and extend my heartfelt regards to Dr. Brajbala Tiwari Madam, Dr. Hiralal Kunar Sir, Dr. Abharani Sinha Madam, Dr. Sashikula Madam, Dr. Shailinia and Dr. Archana Basir Madam for giving us this opportunity to chair this session. A very, very revered speaker, Dr. Basab Mukherjee Sir. It's beyond honor to introduce Sir. And we have been treating RPLs, PMOs every day in our OP days. But how many of us are asking, what about her air, her water, her food, and her cosmetics? So it's time bygone that reproductive health has gone beyond hormones and follicles. And Sir's session today will be connecting the dots between pollutants and reproduction. It's more than an honor for me to introduce Basab Sir, who has not just a clinician, but has shaped various firsts in the organization. As the past vice president of FOXY, Sir has led from the forefront crafting women's health policies and led the federation to an academic excellence. Sir has always been ahead of the curve that has, over the years, millions about this exemplary leadership as a pathfinder for many of us in the fraternity. We welcome you, sir, for your esteemed deliberation.
Thank you, Prerna. It's absolutely a pleasure to be here. Congratulations, Prerna, on taking over as the YTP committee chair incoming. My Shalia, Rajbala, Dr. Shipra, and Dr. Laka. Hello. And Archana, best wishes from our side, along with everything. So over the next, okay, just a minute. Where are we? Okay. Just a minute. Why can't I share? Where is
Hi,
that?
Basab.
Share. I got it. Hi, hello. I got it. I was just trying to get my share. Can you see? Can you see me? Can you see the
Yes, sir,
slide?
you are visible, audible, and good evening, sir. Welcome to this webinar. We're eager to hear you.
So just over the next 20 minutes, we'll take you down the line of 15 to 20 minutes. Sorry. Can you? Yeah. We're having a little bit of a storm here. I'm just hopeful that you can see me. I'll just share once more. Oops. Sorry. Can you see me now? Or can you see the slides? Oops.
No, sir.
The slides are not yet.
It's loading. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Now?
No, sir, not visible.
Now?
The slides are not visible, sir.
Oops.
No, sir.
Just trying to share screens, document, screen technology is right now the shoulder.
I think you, sir, you can stop. You can try stop sharing and then again restart because it's showing loading.
Sir is disconnected kya?
I think he has disconnected to reconnect again because of the
Okay.
bad connection.
I can see beautiful painting behind Dr. Helen. Some beautiful orchid flowers are there behind you. It's environment, beautiful environment.
Thank you, ma'am. I thought it would suit.
Yeah, to the topic. Yeah.
You, ma'am. I've been listening to, I mean, this is my first time with environmental committee sort of thing. I'm finding it so interesting. Thank you so much for including me.
We are looking for your chapters to start.
Yes, sir, definitely working on it, working on it. I've got an enthusiastic crowd.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, but slides are not visible.
Can you see? No, I haven't started some of the discussion going on. So can you see? Can you see the slides now?
So your photo is visible, slides are not visible.
I don't know why, but I'm sharing it all the same. I have a poor internet connection because of the storm now here.
Okay,
But
sir.
I'll
It
try
might be
once
because
more.
of that.
No, it's because of the storm. Because I figured out why I'm not going as background. Can I try this? Is it okay now? No, you can't see now, no?
No, sir, slides
Can you
not
see?
visible.
Oh my God, I can't figure out what's happening because so slide share, PowerPoint application window. I'll change this now.
Not
Nothing.
yet, sir. So Deepji,
Okay.
can you help?
You can mail it to me or WhatsApp
No,
or through WhatsApp. You can.
No, it's not a question about mailing. It's a question about the internet in my
Yeah.
place, which is not good. So internet, because of the storm, the mailing also will be an issue, but I will still try. I'll just try once, and then if it doesn't work, then it's okay. But tell me, after I share, I got an application window as I normally get, but you are screen sharing. Why am I not getting it? And then you
Your
cannot
file
see
is
anything,
open.
huh? I can.
Your file is open.
Dada, if you can mail it to the format people, then they can show it. We can hear you because. Anybody from the farmer team? Can you share your mail ID?
Yeah, I'll share in the group.
Share with me, sir. Share it with sir. So I can send you the PPT, no?
Can we proceed to the next one before Basab gets ready?
Dr. Prerna, will you call once?
Ma'am?
Will you call once, sir?
Basab sir को?
sir?
अच्छा.
हाँ,
Sir out.
I think sir. हाँ, अभी दिख नहीं रहा है मुझे इधर से.
I think we should go ahead with the next speaker because there is storm and all. It may not get right. If it comes, then we can stop the other speaker and he can go ahead, I think.
So, just ma'am, let once call.
I'll just call once. अच्छा. ठीक है जैसे. ठीक. ठीक है जैसे. ठीक है. ठीक. ठीक है. ठीक. Okay. Basab sir has asked the next speaker to start, and by the time he'll mail it to the format people, and then they can share the PPT. We can
shall we invite
start the third
CPs?
session.
Shall we invite the CPs of next talk?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Any Shipra or
Yes, ma'am.
Shalilia?
Yes, ma'am, I'm taking over. So, moving forward, it's a pleasure to invite the chairpersons for the third session on the very interesting topic of endocrine disruptors and fertility. Dr. Hafizur Rahman, sir. Sir is currently President Sikkim OBGY Society. And Dr. Pranabika, ma'am. Ma'am is Associate Professor ONG COM Deputy Superintendent JMCH Jorat, Consultant Prapti Fertility Medicine Point, Resource Faculty at NMC Regional Center Faculty Development JMCH, Secretary Jorat ONG Society. Ma'am has many academic achievements including advanced course in medical education, advanced diploma in ART in reproductive medicine, certification course in advanced lab gynae, basic course in biomedical research sonography, and ma'am has many publications in various national and international journals. Now I request our respected chairpersons to welcome our speaker for the session, Dr. Pranay Kansar.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I am Dr. Hafizur Rahman. I am not the president of Gangtok User. I am the secretary. Yeah, it's okay. This is an important session, and Pranay Phukan sir, I know sir very nicely that very for a long time. Sir is president of Dibrugarh Gynae Society and as well as professor and head. So I would like to invite Pranay Phukan sir to speak on the topic EDC and fertility. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We can.
Please share my slides. Pharma people. So it's a great privilege to be here today. We are no more only gynecologists, but as well as we are now endocrinologists. I mean, endocrinologists. No, besides that, probably we are now environmentalists. Most of us now concerned with the different, those bad effects of the environment as well as how the fertility is being affected. Next slide, please. So my job has been already been made very easy by the previous speakers, and we all know about the EDCs. Then endocrine disrupting chemicals these are the exogenous elements that disrupt normal endocrine physiology by interfering with the hormone synthesis, metabolism, and its cellular action. They exist in everywhere that we are using our food, our different types of those medical devices, air, water, soil, everywhere. Wherever we are, in the whole environment is full of different kinds of EDCs. They're very toxic, and we all know about that. And this can cross the placenta and then implicate in the development origin of the disease, such as obesity and diabetes. Even in the intrauterine life, it can affect and generations after generations by these EDCs. So rise in diabetes as well as in infertility, as we have already discussed, is definitely linked to the actions of EDCs. Next slide. But this concept was not initially accepted that the EDCs may be responsible for all these problems. But gradually the epidemiological studies in animals and cell-based studies, they have shown that even the low levels may have the important consequences. So now we have more than 1,000 individual EDCs in the atmosphere or in our day-to-day life, and they are also responsible for climate change and as well as detrimental effects on the worldwide ecosystem. Next slide. We are using all this everyday life, different types of soap, lotions, and then whatnot, deodorant and everything, but they contain all the different types of EDCs, and it can affect our reproductive life. So it may be phytoestrogen, it may be phthalates in different plastic containers, it may be flame retardants, it may be phenols, it may be PCB, pesticides we are using it, and then of course phytoestrogen we are having sometimes with the soybean for a long time, and different types of those elements are harming the reproductive life. Next slide. So she looks nice, but it may not be nice, this bottle. So it may be pesticides, estrogen in different, it may be in the as a preservative in some food, PCBs, dioxins, percolate, different types of those endocrine disrupting chemicals are present everywhere. Next slide. So reproductive system, it affects it basically it has been observed that in last 50 years, even when I was a medical student, we have been taught that the normal semen parameters are 60 to 120 million. Now WHO has gone up to 15 million because it has been seen that the declining sperm counts and earlier puberty in girls. Previously we have been taught that less than 10 years it's a precocious puberty. Now we get patients regularly at 9 years, 8 years. So this earlier puberty worldwide and genital malformations are also getting more common in people and animals. At the same time, the annual global production of plastics which contain endocrine disrupting chemicals has grown from 50 million tons to 300 million tons from 1970s to 2000. So where is the 50 million tons? Now we have 300 million tons of the different types of endocrine disrupting chemicals in the plastic and all these things. So in some ways it is not surprising that EDCs cause unfortunate consequence. For some instance, since human reproductive processes are similar to those of other species, many pest control chemicals designed to harm pest reproductive system also damage the people's reproductive system. Even we are using day-to-day life every night where the mosquitoes are there, we are using the repellents. So if they can kill the mosquitoes, definitely it can harm our system also. We should remember it. Next slide. The connection with the reproduction, it basically starts from the BPA. It has been seen that BPA changes the neuroendocrine pathways in reproductive health. And other culprits are PDBs or DDTs, and then EDCs also induce changes in the germ cells. BPA exposure during women's reproductive years compromise embryo implantation. Women under 40 working in the plastic industry were more likely to have fertility assistance. It has been seen in Denmark, in a recent Denmark study, big study. And the sperm counts in a certain region of the world have declined by as much as 50% over the last half century. Next slide. So EDCs can also affect the duration of fertility. In girls, early life exposure to DDT may contribute to an earlier onset of puberty. It has been seen in some countries like Africa and Brazil. Once they become adults, this exposure may also lengthen the menstrual cycle and accelerate menopause. So lead another reproductive toxicants, it can shorten the women's reproductive lifespan. Sometimes she might go to premature ovarian failure because of lead contamination. Even at low levels, lead changes reproductive hormones in prepubescent girls as is a healthy premenopausal women. Next slide. Some actions on the altering gender features. So EDCs has linked with structural and functional impairments of the reproductive system. DDT like pesticides causes genital and reproductive malformations. We remember when we were children, DDT was commonly used to in the endemic areas of malaria, and then in Northeast India, the many places are having this regular DDT. That pesticides are used for that in the community basis. So EDCs have been linked to the undescended testicles and the urethral defects. Ovarian cysts also have been associated with the higher amounts of chemicals like BPA. Next slide. We have already been talking about all these plant-derived phytoestrogens, industrial chemicals, household personal cares, medical suppliers, pharmaceuticals. We are talking on that. Next slide. So these are different types. Every day we are using. Next slide. What's a mechanism of action? The EDCs can stimulate or inhibit the production of metabolism of endogenous hormones or disrupt the peripheral transport of hormones to their target tissues. Many of them, they mimic with the structure of the estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, but thereby they can do all this. The estrogenic and non-anti-androgenic activity of EDCs are the most well established. There are often significant structural differences between EDC and endogenous steroid hormones, and therefore assignment of estrogenic and anti-androgenic properties to individuals EDCs are typically established. Next slide. Can you get the next slide? Yeah. So EDCs and the reproductive disorders, the most established effect are on the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, as Connor sir has already been said on the, precisely on that, how the precocious puberty might happen, and feminization, including the gynecomastia in the boys. We get nowadays sometimes in the young boys, they come with a gynecomastia. Their numbers are increasing, attributed to the excess estrogen exposure from the creams, ointments and sprays. Topical estrogens to treat menopausal symptoms may expose children sometimes. If somebody is using estrogen cream, that can also affect the children. Virilization of the young children, inadvertent exposure to androgen containing creams. Of course, gynecomastia in prepubertal males and premature thelarchy also can be seen in the young girls because of EDCs. Next slide. So early life exposure to EDC that can alter the development of female reproductive system. They can cause ovarian cysts. There is a proliferative lesions in the oviduct might be happen. There is a vaginal cases of vaginal adenosis might be there. Cervical sarcoma is when the DES was used long back. Of course, uterine polyp might occur, and mammary adenocarcinoma, the breast carcinoma may be there. And of course, we are more concerned about now IVF, where the implantation is also impaired. Next slide. Ovarian function and fertility is also is affected by the EDCs, and they disrupt the folliculogenesis. They decrease the population of the primordial follicles, and they alter the development of primary, prenatal, preantral and antral population of the follicles as well as corpus luteum. And then of course they disrupt the process of ovulation, even fertilization. Next slide. So generation wise, if we get a 0 generation, probably it might go to the generation 2, generation 3 and generation 1, 2 and 3. It can go on. Next slide. This we are concerned about the PCOS, which nowadays we call it polyendocrine metabolic ovary syndrome, and that is one of the very important problem of the anovulation in the young women is gradually increasing, and it probably might be one of the causes may be EDCs. So PMOS, a complex genetic trait where multiple genetic variants and environmental factors interact, and that environmental factors are probably related to EDCs. Serum BPA concentrations seems to be higher in those of PMOS, and EDCs may cause elevations of systemic androgen that are hallmark of the disease. Of course, in the rodent model, it has been seen that the prenatal exposure to EDCs increased incidence of polycystic ovarian in the offspring. So definitely, as the PCOS or PMOS cases are increasing, there might be something to do with the environmental pollutants with EDCs. Next slide. And then endometriosis, uterine fibroids, all the same actions. The actions could be directly the growth and the lesions through the effects on the immune system. Dioxin also is known to stimulate the growth of the uterine epithelial cells. In the same way, uterine fibroids are also maybe due to exposure to the EDCs can be a cause. And history of the intrauterine exposure can, especially diethyl sylvestrol, it was of course no more used nowadays. It is already proved that it can cause. Next slide. So same way, the men reproductive development is also affected. It has been in 2001 the term testicular dysgenesis syndrome (TDS) was coined to describe this triad: altered fetal reproductive development, decreased semen quality, and testicular germ cell cancer (TGCC). These three disorders share a common pathway by which environmental chemicals and genetics result in abnormal development of the fetal testis. Next slide. Next slide, please. So we have been talking about that already. Next slide. Semen is definitely affected by DDT, BPA. Serum BPA levels are they activate the non-genomic estrogen signaling through the GPR30, and BPA exposure may be associated with a negative impact on the sperm quality. PCB concentration in the adult male serum is inversely proportional to the semen quality, and phthalates at environmental levels. Even in environmental levels, the phthalates is likely to have the classical sperm affect the classical sperm parameters. Next slide. So these are different hormone-related cancers. They also indirectly affect like testicular cancer, breast cancer, endometrial and ovarian cancer, prostate cancer. The different multicentric studies are also being done in the Western countries to have some evidence that EDCs are related to different types of these cancers. Next slide. In non-reproductive tissues, of course, they might have obesity, diabetes mellitus. We have been discussed. They can cause the metabolic dysfunction, PMOS. Thyroid disease may be caused by the PDCs, cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, and neurological effects. Next slide. Of course, the prevention, we all know that we should get rid of all these things, and then especially exposure to BPA can be greatly reduced with the use of products level as BPA free. The BPA free level should be there, and we should be careful when we buy something in the with food materials and with container. Use of glassware for food storage and cooking. I think everybody probably now they are changing the plastics containers now to the glass or steel. And then cooking materials, of course, those what do you call it? Normally, that we should go back to our natural iron cooking materials, but we should be very careful about infants, children, and pregnant females. There should be a ban on some European countries. They have already they have ban on the BPA in packaging, and then phthalates consumption can be minimized with the use of filtered water, avoiding plastics, and the use of fragrance-free soaps, detergents, and cosmetics. Of course, all is day-to-day life that what we are using. Everybody should be careful. It is not only our, as a gynecologist, we are concerned about that, but we should always try to tell all these things in our patients that what to do, what not to do regarding the toxicity of EDCs and how to prevent them. Next slide. Almost same type, pesticides, insecticides, and male infertility. We had a study in our medical college a couple of years back, probably in 2017, and we have seen that we have many tea garden workers in our place, and we have selected 55 oligospermic infertile male patients, and we have divided into two groups. We have seen that the 27 among them were exposed to pesticides, and 28 unexposed cases were taken, control group. The result was a significant decrease in the sperm concentration was found in the exposed group. Also, a significant increase in serum LH was found in the exposed group, and a significant decrease in sperm concentration and serum testosterone, along with a significant increase in the serum FSH and LH, was found in the increase in duration of exposure to the pesticides and insecticides. So those workers who are working in the tea garden labors, they are the exposed worker, and those who are not working, that are unexposed workers. We have just done this study, and it's of course small study of 55, but we have seen this with the ICMR. Next slide. Can you please give me the next slide, please? Yeah, to George Orwell in 1949, in his book, he has written that progress of our life will be progress towards more pain. Everything we shall destroy, everything, but we have to stop it. That vision that he had definitely is now definitely very serious, and as a gynecologist, as a health care personnel, we should be very careful to prevent all these problems of EDCs as far as possible. So 1984 George Orwell book, and he has written this slide, and definitely I agree with this, and then we are definitely here to put a full stop in all this. Next slide. I think this is the last slide. I thank you all for patience hearing, but the same things we are discussing over on last 1 hour. I think that it will be very effective, as a very good initiative taken by the environmental committee. Rajbala is very serious about environment. She has sent so many beautiful posters regarding how to have a good hospitals, and I have thus distributed amongst my doctors as well as postgraduate students, and I think gradually we'll be able to do something about the environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an engaging lecture on endocrine disruptors and fertility. This topic was complex, but was presented with great clarity and skillfully, bridging the gap between environmental science and reproductive medicine. You made it very easy, sir. Now I request my chairpersons to conclude the session, please.
So it was pleasure listening to you. It was a very insightful thought, actually thought-provoking, I should say. And although the topic was very complex, you have transformed it into a very simpler one to take home back. So, sir, actually, this is the topic we should actually more often should be talking about, because it is the root cause of all diseases nowadays that we most frequently look for or we are facing. So awareness, I think, is the most important thing, especially the young kids or girls, teenage teenage girls, because they are now more motivated through internet or social media. So if we can, the environmental committee can put some that sort of things so that that can be easily catched by the school going children and the college going children, that can help our future generation probably. Thank you so much, sir, for your excellent talk, sir. Thank you, sir.
We have one more chairperson. Do we have, or shall we proceed for the? I think we can go ahead with the next session. Dr. Basab sir is there.
Yes.
You can invite Shalini.
I think Dr. Basap is back with us, and I would like to request our chairpersons, Dr. Alaka and Dr. Prerna. We have already invited you, so can you please take over the session and kindly introduce Dr. Basap Mukherjee?
Good evening, everyone. We welcome Dr. Basab sir. It's very nice hearing to him. So when I remember when I heard him, he was introducing Dr. Bhaskar Pal sir during his installation. It was so nice hearing Basab sir. So we welcome you. Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here, Dr. Alaka.
Yes, he's there.
Just to see if you can see my screen now.
It's visible,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
It's visible now, sir.
Finally, because it was, I think, part of the storm, part of poor internet connection and everything. So thank you, ISOPARB, for the wonderful opportunity. Dr. Brajabala, who's doing, as Pranada said, a wonderful job of the first chairperson of the Environment Committee of POXI. And here we're talking over the next 15 minutes on noise pollution. So noise pollution is not something which grabs the headlines as much as air pollution, because air, at least you can see, you know that they have a problem on the lungs and on the cardiovascular system. But noise, we're not quite sure where does it exactly fit in. And this is a famous dialogue from a movie, Itna Sannata Kyun Hai Bhai. I don't think we say that nowadays anymore because there's not much of Sannata left. And so we are generally always around a noisy and noisy environment. So a little bit on noise pollution and reproductive health. Where does that fit in? So here, oops, sorry. Yeah. So here, differentiating the environmental stresses. As we said, air pollution is what grabs the headlines. We know that it has an effect on the respiratory and cardiovascular system, and there has been impacts on different at different levels at the infants and pregnant mothers and extreme of age. Acoustic intrusion, also like noise, as you hear, is also one of the stress factors which has several effects on the body. Temperature extremes, also what we're going through now, which is a very warm summer, is also one of the different things which does have an effect. So reclassifying noise from a nuisance to a pathogen, that's so important. Then when noise is not just the irritant, it is more like a bioagent. So it's like a virus, it's like a bacteria. It's something which can affect you from inside over a long period of time, and you may not even understand what is happening. So it's not an annoyance, it's more like a pathogen, and that's what we want to impress here. There are a lot of research and studies linking noise to systemic adverse health effects. So we have now a lot of understanding that this is something which is definitely a danger signal for several problems in our body. So as we mentioned, the one environmental problem which grabs headlines is air pollution, and particulate air pollution. We have heard about PM 2.5, how it gets into your system and has dangerous effects. But a noise which is persistent and over 85 decibels continuously heard directly impairs hearing, but also has effects on the cardiovascular and metabolic disruptions. It is ranked second of the most impactful environmental factor affecting human health behind air pollution, cost 2% of GDP in some countries and 1 million of disability adjusted life years. So sound the alarm how noise pollution hijacks your body. You may not understand it, you may not realize it, but it is perceived as a threat response, especially a sudden noise. the body interprets loud noise as a fight or flight situation. Suddenly there is a rise of adrenaline, activation of the hypothalamo-pituitary axis and the sympathetic nervous system, elevated vital signs, heart, blood pressure, chronic health conditions, hormonal imbalance, nighttime vulnerability, muscular system effects, and the hormonal surges. So the dual pathways of acoustic stress could be on the hypothalamo-pituitary axis, hypothalamic adrenaline axis, sorry, and also on the sympathetic system. So both of this would result in chronic elevation of maternal serum stress hormones, increasing catecholamine secretions, and ultimately spikes. In a pregnant perspective, it would be compromised placental functions and adverse pregnancy outcomes. So the noise pollution, the invisible risk to pregnancy, here we can hear the different kinds of noise, most common being traffic noise, but also machinery noise from factory, and also a lot of other transport noise, airport, airplane noise, all those things are there. In a pregnant woman, they have, because of the activation of the stress axis, which we have mentioned, they have an impaired placental function, and they also have problems of sleeping or deep sleep, and that is something which happens there. From a pregnancy point of view, there's also a higher rate of miscarriage. And now you can ask, how did they do these surveys and studies? Like they compared environments which are high sound compared to one with low sound, and they have seen that it has a 5-time increase higher miscarriage rate, 44% increase low birth weight, and also an acute trigger for preterm birth. So all this has some associations with sound, which is something which we often do not understand or do not ask. Mapping adverse pregnancy outcomes to noise exposure. So this is what I was talking about. The three danger things. One is preterm birth. One is low birth weight. One is fetal loss at different points of time, either a spontaneous abortion or a stillborn later in pregnancy. And this is something, again, unless you understand and recognize the problem, you will not be able to tackle it or take care of it. So again, on the same lines, preterm birth, biological trigger, labor trigger, spontaneous birth, circulatory disorder, constant uteroplacental and fetoplacental circulatory disorders, and stillbirth along with that as thing. Again, it's very difficult to prove because there'll be a lot of confounding factors, a lot of bias. You may have a stillbirth due to 100 of reasons, but again, an association with a noise-induced corticosteroid elevation is something which is one of the things which you may have to consideration. The preterm birth spectrum also is a very important thing we keep on mentioning when we give talks on preterm birth. It is something which we have not been able to have made good advances with time. There is still around 15 million babies born prematurely, and around 25% of that happens in India. Gestational time of vulnerability. Here again, the continuous drain, depending on which time of the pregnancy this is happening, you can have problems when it happened around mid-pregnancy or late pregnancy. And this is something, again, which has been studied. The placental bottleneck, system overload. So this is what happens when active cortisol is there. It is transferred into inactive cortisol, and that is why the fetus is protected. But if there's a large surge of cortisol through different stress factors, including noise, then there's a system overload. Everything cannot be processed as they cross the placental barrier, and a large amount of this cortisol comes here, and that has different effects on the fetus, which are not desirable. Fetal growth and low birth weight, we have said that active cortisol does have an effect. Long-term noise stress overloads the maternal systems, inhibits the placenta from converting active cortisol to inactive cortisol, which you saw in the diagram below, and that has an effect on the fetus on different ways, especially growth. So low birth weight, the odds ratio of 1.404 in one of the national Swedish cohort studies, which looked at 8.5 lakh infants. So this is how did they again measure the women who were full-time working in the pregnancy with a high occupation noise level. So they compared them to people who were taking rest at home or were not working in a low noise level, and all those things were tried to factor in, and this is how what they came up with. Global evidence of spontaneous abortion and fetal death in several localities and communities around the world. There have been trials done to see in a factory setting or in a residential setting, depending on where your house is, how close to the main road and how far from the main street, how much of sound exposure and what difference it makes in the pregnancy outcomes, especially spontaneous abortion and preterm death in the studies in China, Shanghai, Serbia. The preeclampsia connection also is there. So besides preterm birth, low birth weight, and stillbirth, there is a risk of preeclampsia along with noise exposure during pregnancy. So this is the meta-analysis of 1.1 million participants, that's 11 lakhs, and showing that occupational noise exposure during pregnancy significantly increases the risk of preeclampsia. Relative risk is 1.07 in the world's largest cohort when they have seen a large number of babies. Here also there are studies in BMJ 2024, long-term exposure to road traffic noise and air pollution and the risk of infertility in men and women, nationwide Danish cohort study. So we know infertility is increasing in leaps and bounds, and we know stress is one factor. We say it's something to deal with the food which you're taking, the air you're breathing, and maybe the noise you're hearing. So all of that does contribute to subfertility, and that's something which we can tackle if we understand and appreciate it. So here are again some studies of infertility diagnosed in 16,000 men, 22,000 women with a mean follow-up of 4.3, 4.2 years. Again, partly due to the air pollution. And again, road traffic noise was associated with a high risk of infertility in one age group of 35 to 45, not so much in the younger women. And that also was adding to the age-related decrease in fertility. And again, so infertility not in younger women, but more in older women, but which is there. And men, road traffic noise also increasing in subfertility in the age 37 to 45-year age group. So impacts of noise pollution on sperm quality and the suggestive mechanisms. So you may be surprised, but there have been studies on this from Iran, Australia. There have been two investigators published in Journal of Infertility and Reproductive Biology 2023. So they are looking at noise-induced stress can impact sperm quality through various mechanisms, including oxidative stress, the reason why you give so much of antioxidants and vitamins in case of male subfertility. And there is synergy when pollutants collide. So if you have air with noise pollution, then you worsen the situation and you have a more different response. So the hierarchy of evidence, so how much are we talking about noise pollution to actually be causative of all these adverse outcomes? Well, you could see the moderate to strong evidence where you're talking about preeclampsia, limited evidence when you're talking about low birth weight, inadequate or conflicting evidence for gestational diabetes or other hypertensive disorders. But there's emerging or evidence for environmental noise and altered uterine artery resistance. So the future frontiers and intervention, how can you avoid noise? You can use a tracking, as you have the tracking, how much of steps you walk. You can also understand how much of noise is coming into your system. So the personalized acoustic wearables. Protective interventions, you can have earphones, headphones, or you have your sound barriers in your house, especially if you live close to the main road where you have a lot of honking in your city, then that would be very useful. And developing nation cohorts, you can have your sound barriers, you can have generally you can have a lobbying against sound pollution, make your society and your policymakers aware that this is a problem and it needs intervention, and this can be done at a organization level where people are made aware that this is something which is bad for your health. And of course, as Dr. Pranay Fukan said, as Brijbala does, the problem have to start at your own place. So you need to first change yourself. You need to be convinced that there is an issue, and not like Donald Trump who's saying environmental health is all rubbish. So that's not true. Everything does have an effect on you, and we should have try to understand and appreciate it. So redefining the invisible stressor, noise is not merely an auditory nuisance, it is a systemic biological pathogen. I think that's a very strong statement, but this is the take-home message here, that you don't hear noise as just confusion or something just irritant. It is something which is affect your health and body. So that's the reason why you may listen to music, which is better than binging on Netflix, because you are much more relaxed on that. So the final takeaway, protecting the maternal and fetal health requires treating ambient and occupational acoustics with the same public health vigor, regulatory oversight, and clinical awareness as chemical pollutants and air quality. Air quality, we are more aware, we are more concerned, and for good reasons, but noise is something also which we have to avoid. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. Yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you, Basub sir, for that extremely elaborate, enlightening, and quite an informative and evidence-based deliberation. It was such a treat to hear you speak, and that was beyond words can explain, sir. Thought-provoking, and really, we did not talk about noise pollution that much as we are talking about the AQI and the pollutants in the air and the soil and around us. So that is something which we need to talk about more. And your deliberation has made it quite pertinent that we are going to talk about it in the coming days more often. Thank you so much, sir.
Nice talk, Basav. It was
Thank
really
you,
excellent.
sir.
Because,
We're
noise
really enjoying
pollution,
it.
and then, hearing aid, because nowadays our center, we run a ENT center with so we are seeing more and more people are coming with, the hearing loss as well.
Yeah, that's why the sports person always they have their hearing aids on, na? When it kind of cools them down, it makes you not hear so much of noise and ambient noise around. So you can have
Yeah.
personal protection devices, some earmuffs, especially if you live in a place where there's too much of noise and too much of things. Like we are living in a world where everybody wants to speak, but nobody wants to hear. So that's the problem. So Shalini is laughing.
Noise filter.
All these days, we always used to see that only the ENT people were talking about noise pollution, only about the
Yeah.
hearing
Like
problem.
what
But
Dr. Archana is saying is right. Like if you check your auditory status, a lot of people may think that you're half deaf in one ear because you're just hearing so much. So I guess, hi, Dr. Sasigala. So nice to see you, President-elect. Hi, superb.
As usual, very eloquent speaker. You are.
It's all fun.
Excellent presentation, yeah, Dr. Basad, yeah. Because we never thought of having any problem with the noise pollution. We only thought of farming and pesticides and air pollution. But this is something very new, and really it's good to hear your presentation. Excellent presentation, Dr. Basad.
Thank you, Dr. Sadhana. Thank you. Thank you.
Platform, Basav. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Shalini or Shipra? Yeah.
Yes, so we'd like to go to the next session now. Thank you very much, Dr. Basav, once again, and both the chairpersons. And now we'd like to go to the last topic of this evening. We will have environmental toxins and reproductive health, which will be spoken by none other than our dynamic Dr. Prajwala Tiwari. And I would like to welcome now our chairpersons. First and foremost, I would like to invite Dr. Kevil Honi Linye. So we called Dr. Kevil, we call him in short Dr. Kevi. He is the managing director of GIFT Nursing Home. He is a consultant obstetrician and he's also a laparoscopic surgeon. He is the current president of Kohima Obstetrician Society. Sir has had immense experience in laparoscopy. He's had training from abroad, that is from Germany and France, and he's done his ART training in IHR Kolkata and ultrasound training in Foxy, and also he's had laparoscopic management of infertility and gynae-oncology surgery courses, and he's a lab surgeon for the past 16 years, and he's presented a paper at APAGE 2025 in Shanghai. So, sir, I would like to, welcome you to this webinar.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Kevin. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Shalini or Shipra? Yeah.
Yes, so we'd like to invite I would like to invite our next chairperson, Dr. Helen Kamei. Dr. Helen has finished her master's and fellowship in gynae oncology. She is a professor in Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Sciences, ISOPARB. She is in charge of gynecological oncology and she is the head of department in Obstetrics and Gynae. So she's also a member of ISCCP, AGOI, FOXY, and ISAR.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to add ISOPARB there.
ISOPARB, okay. ISOPARB. Welcome, Dr. Helen.
Just kidding, just kidding. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. I'm very happy I'm introducing Dr. Brajwala. Yeah, Madam, I is a secretary of Indore chapter, and like really, I'm looking forward to the topic because all the previous topics were like it's not. It was always there, but really starting to talk about it sort of put the button in the right place. So I think Madam's lecture will be like the icing on the cake. So Madam Brajabala, she is a chairperson of Foxy Environmental Health Committee, presently secretary of ISR, and she's also secretary for ISOPARB Indore chapter, was past president for the Indore Obs Gynae Society. She's also vice president for the Indore Menopause chapter. Madam has been heading IMA as vice president, as secretary also, and she has been joint secretary, organizing joint secretary
Thank you,
in
Dr. Helen.
AICOG 2022 and ISAR 23. Ma'am, I wish AICOG 22,
Thank you,
I was,
Dr. Helen.
I was there. So I really enjoyed. I wanted to compliment you on that also. And I think with this, I'll welcome you to start your topic. Looking forward to hearing a great discussion. Thank you, ma'am.
So good evening. At the outset, I would like to thank each and every one, all our guests, National President Dr. Kunar sir, Abharani Madam, Dr. Shashikala Madam, all office bearers of ISOPA, and all speakers, delegates for today's webinar for accepting the invitation by Indore chapter. So as this was the month of environmental health, we have celebrated on 5th Environment Day, and we came to know that environment is playing a lot of this effect on our. Is my slide visible? Yeah. So I am the last speaker for today's webinar, and although most of the things are covered by my previous speakers, so I will be speaking in general about the environmental pollution in reproductive health. So we know so many things, that so many diseases are because of this. Yeah. My slides are visible?
Ma'am, visible but not move. We are on the first slide, ma'am. Not moving.
Okay. मेरा मुंह नहीं हो रहा है, क्या हो गई? Yeah. So, Jal, Agni, Prithvi, Vayu, Akash, these are the Panch Tattva, and there are lifeline, but we are contaminating it in any way by all sort of pollutions and toxins, by our lifestyle, by modernization. So we know that there was Barker hypothesis long back in 1990, and they started with the maternal nutrition and the relationship with the fetal origin of adult disease. But nowadays we are having so many pollution disasters, and we have witnessed the ozone hole, Bhopal gas leak, Chernobyl nuclear accident, Gulf of Mexico oil, and nowadays e-waste causing so much of hazards in water pollution and so many things. So these are the harmful solid liquid gases producing higher than usual concentration that reduce the quality of our environment. So they work in different ways by doing so many pollutions, and they're doing endocrine immune system, toxication, and by affecting the normal functioning of our reproductive system. So about the air pollution already spoken by Dr. Archana Basir, but WHO has given us these air pollutants: lead, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, carbon monoxide, ground level ozone, and particulate matter. We heard a lot about this during winter season, particularly in our capital, Delhi. So these pollutants causes their action by oxidative stress, by inflammation, by mitochondrial damage, by DNA and epigenetic changes. They're causing mutations, gene expression alteration, and cell death. All these are leading to all sort of reproductive hazards. And we have already heard that IUGR, preterm labor, PIH, congenital anomalies are related with our pollutants. So I'm skipping air pollution, but there are many studies, and these are the different studies I'm putting here. Risk of preeclampsia due to air pollution, risk of preterm birth, well documented studies in reputed journals in BMC, and there is link between pollution and preterm birth, not only air pollution but noise pollution as well as climate change, global warming. We are hearing nowadays in summer season, we all witnessing there is an increased incidence of miscarriages, stillbirth due to high temperature because of cell dehydration, decreased blood flow to the fetus, and that is causing this thing. PCO, which is named again PMOS, now is related with so many EDCs and pollution already discussed by Dr. Pranay Fukan sir, but there are many studies on this. So increasing incidence of male infertility, we are seeing a lot increase incidence of male infertility since 1990 to 2020. And these are related with air pollution, and there are multiple studies we can see. Ambient pollutant matter exposure throughout spermatogenesis during long period, especially at early and middle stage, were adversely associated with semen quality, quantity, and concentration. EDC harms reproductive health by contaminating our air, water, soil, and food. So there are many types of EDCs affecting from gametogenesis, embryogenesis, and fertility, pregnancy outcome, and child neurodevelopmental. So it is not only affecting fertility, pregnancy, but neurodevelopment as well. So these are the toxin already discussed by Dr. Pranav sir, that PCB, BPS, phthalate, lead, mercury, cadmium. They are exposed, we are getting exposed by industrial toxins, and as well as like cosmetics, toys, water bottles, they are causing this exposure in our day-to-day life. So these are different elements from different things. We are getting phthalate, bisphenol, and PCBs. And this is very well documented, very well proven that endometriosis is reported in 2013 journal that high level of phthalate metabolite in women with pelvic endometriosis was found. It was published in 2024 again in BJOG. DDT1, this molecule got this Nobel Prize, but it was banned soon. But still in India, some parts it is there available, and the half-life of this molecule is very high, and it remains persistent for 25 to 30 years in soil and causing all type of cell death and cell injury. So this is banned, but it is still prevalent in our country. So male infertility is rising, already spoken. And this is one more study by Witkuje et al. Showed that environmental level of PCB decreases plasma testosterone, free testosterone in free androgen index, and dihydrotestosterone, causing increased incidence of male infertility. So these are the phthalate, lead, already causing male reproductive system hazards. Exposure to chemical found in everyday products is linked to significantly reduced fertility. And this is good study from New York, 132 women of childbearing age, and they found that they are associated with decreased incidence of clinical pregnancy rates, even in IVF patients. So water is contaminated by any way we are contaminating, we are polluting our water bodies. कहते हैं कि हिंदुस्तान में नदियों की पूजा होती, लेकिन we are contaminating by so many sources. So exposure to drinking water pollutants and non-syndromic birth defect, this is very, very important study. They have included 32 studies, 17 cohort studies and 15 case control studies, and around 47,914 cases and controls. The most common pollutants were investigated, and they found that arsenic and different heavy metals were found, and they causes many birth defects in newborns. So we know heavy metals are required for embryogenesis, gametogenesis, but their higher level affects cell death and many epigenetic changes, and they access toxicants and causing so many birth defects like mercury. This is again one study in more than 900 mother-child pair study, and they found that there were cognitive deficit in 7-year-old children with prenatal exposure to methyl mercury was also observed. Cadmium is again associated with birth defects, and they were found in even in breast milk if pregnant women was exposed to cadmium. So these are found in batteries, pen, plastic productions. So we are exposed, our women are exposed to them in our day-to-day life. Lead, the picture says that caution, lead hazards, and occupational as well as non-occupational exposure, particularly the cosmetics, lead toys, they causes elevated levels of lead in maternal serum, are associated with hypertension, preterm birth, low birth weight, and abnormal placentation. Many times we label it as we are not finding any causative factor, and we label it as idiopathic. But if we go through detailed history, we will come to know that there may be these occupational or indirect exposure of these chemicals causing all these ill effects. There is a relationship between maternal heavy metal exposure and congenital heart defects. This is one of the systemic review, and they found that barium and arsenic were associated with congenital heart disease. This is also from one of the eminent literature. And very recent 2022, this was found in Environment Science Pollution study. So they have done studies on association of chromosomal abnormalities with prenatal exposure to heavy metals, and found that there is high risk of fetal chromosomal abnormalities associated with heavy metal exposure during pregnancy. They found heavy metals in umbilical cord blood, and this causes effect on epigenetics and child development. This is also in one of the Sudipta Datta study. So how they causes effect? Cytotoxicity, changes in cell morphology, DNA damage, hormonal metabolic pathway derangement, hormonal disruption, tissue inflammation, ROS, and by that there is embryotoxic effects. This is one of the study from 2023 journal, and they found that women's age from 20 to 44 year, and they from 2013 to 2018 they have done study, and they found that lead mercury were found in women's associated with infertility. So infertility is rising because of so many heavy metal exposure also. Smoking is well known. We have, I think, in end of the 31st May, there is one World Tobacco Day, and there is a lot of literature available on this smoking. Even passive smoking causes so many abnormal things like miscarriage and stillbirth, and many pregnancy complications. So that is already taken by Dr. Basab sir, that noise exposure during pregnancy. This is also one of the meta-analysis, 11 studies, and very beautiful study. So noise is a risk factor for male infertility. So we need to take history from the male partner if there is semen parameter it abnormal, whether they are Zomato worker, whether they are working in aircraft industry or the industry where are they residing near the noise, near the traffic signal area or railway station? So we need to ask, because many times we forget, we do a lot many investigation and nothing comes positive. So it may be the hidden environmental pollution behind this. So this study was on 2,06,492 males of reproductive age, and the study was done for 8 years, and they found the long-term exposure to noise has a role in male infertility. So we have spoken about the problem, but what are the prevention? So at our level, but government should advocate policies to prevent exposure to toxins. There should be spread of knowledge regarding health hazard of pollutions, and we should encourage people do not dump harmful chemicals in or around rivers, and we should promote organic farming. We should prevent pesticides. Organic pesticides can be used instead of synthetic pesticides. Avoid processed food and food that contains mercury, particularly the fish consuming area. If there is contamination of the river, of the seas, that food should not be consumed, and clean food and water must be available. We need to educate during preconception counseling also to avoid cosmetic, to avoid plastic, microplastic. So public awareness is needed. So how we can create public awareness? By doing webinars, by doing walkathons, and by sharing pamphlets. We need to encourage them to cook and store in iron or steel rather than non-stick. Avoid eating fish high in mercury or PCB. Limit cosmetic use. Avoid dry cleaning. Wet mop to clean. And the most important, what is our role? Because we ourselves need to educate, we ourselves need to read how many research are there. So we should be aware of the environmental toxins and their effect on reproduction, and we should empower our patient to make positive decision to reduce exposure and to prevent adverse health impacts to the mother and the fetus. So I think something happened wrong again. So basically, I think that was, there were only 2-3 slides were left, but something happened wrong again. I'm getting my cursor. So basically, we need to create awareness among ourselves, because these are the hidden factor behind many reproductive health hazard, many bad pregnancy outcomes, and many cancers because of these pollutions. So from womb to all age group of reproduction, we are getting exposed not only air, waters, heavy metals, EDCs. So that's all about this thing.
Thank you so much, Madam, for your beautiful insight into and treating the subject very well, thoroughly. And I would also like to congratulate the Indore ISOPARB for coming up with an original theme of going into eco-friendly subjects. And this last few speakers and all, listening through them, I have been again reminiscing about as a human being, we keep on studying, and then ultimately we are coming back into circle, coming back into the eco kind of an eco scientist kind of thing. So basically, all these things have been very insightful. And I would rather, from my part, I would rather say that these environmental pollutants, pollutions, and all are happening because we human beings are not acting as human beings, rather. We are acting like aliens, So, in the process of becoming aliens, we are already trying to make ourselves extinct from this planet. Aliens are not supposed to live on this planet. So, if we are real human beings, we should care for the person that we who are and the person who is next to us. Treat the same person and the environment like our own self, because our body, everything depends on the environment on which we are living. So that is my message to all of you also. And I would like to thank all the participants and the speakers, wonderful speakers, for treating so this subject so beautifully. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Kevi. I couldn't pronounce full name of yours. That's why I called you how to pronounce you. So thank you. We are getting good friends from all over. And it was nice interacting with all of you, Dr. Helen, Dr. Kevi, and Dr. Alaka, Dr. Alok, Dr. Shalinia, and all. This was wonderful meeting. And the thing which I want to give message that we need to go back to basic. Like if we can take small steps, like if we avoid the disposable cap mask, if we start back to our the cotton reusable cap mask, we can prevent some contribution for preventing this pollution. So small steps we can take, then only we can guide our patient, because हम करेंगे तो ही हम अपने patients को समझा सकेंगे. So preventing the use of cosmetics, limiting the use of cosmetic, reusable, recycle, and sustainable life. If can you allow me to share one video? It's beautiful video. I'm trying to show.
Madam nahi dikh rahi.
While the video is coming on play, I would like to add one word. All of us are influencers in our own society. So I think we are all, we give TV shows, programs. In all this, we have to concentrate on the effects of ill effects of environmental, degradation in all phases. So I make it a point for all my patients, especially if they come with endometriosis, metabolic syndrome, all the whole story I tell. I spend extra 5 minutes to tell. And when they're leaving, I tell them this same story, you please tell 10 people. So that's how you have to propagate. So you can't sit and talk to each and everyone. So if you're making a TV program, make it a point to have a small 5-minute session on the effect of environment, so that the people who are listening will get the message. And whoever you talk to, tell them they tell 10 more people. That's how the message spreads. We all know it, but we don't follow. Especially Indians, I think we are bad at it. So plastics, use of plastic bags, we know they have to be banned, but we still use them. So all these things, carry a bag, small tips, I think we should make it become more serious about this.
Where conferences we can stop
Yeah, we should
using so
ban
much
the
of the
plastic.
digital. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes,
plastic
Madam Sadhu.
usage is going on for years together, and we are trying to explain to each and everyone, particularly the lower categories, lower socioeconomic strata also, that don't use these plastic bags. Only use the cotton bags. You should be carrying cotton bags. I always insist my workers to use the cotton bags only while they are carrying something or the other. So, should I start with the vote of thanks, or you want to?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam. I
Okay.
think.
So, I would like to extend my thanks to all the members who have attended, and particular thanks to Dr. Konar, President of ISOPARB, Dr. uh, Abharani Sinha, she's the Secretary General, and Dr. Sasikala from Hyderabad, and all the speakers. They have explained us nicely about the ill effects of air pollution, about the air pollution, like Rajbala has told us about the ill effects of air pollution on reproduction, as well as other organs also, like the systemic diseases, like we are also suffering from nowadays, sort of cardiovascular, respiratory diseases. It's on in rise. So we have to control all these things. We should try and give message to the society, and that this pollution should be controlled in the society. And I think the education of the public is very important, and the lectures taken at different places, that is also very important, so that we can propagate this message that they should stop doing pollution of the air, pollution and use of pesticides, and use of other this thing, pollution like smoking, and like so many things are there. Like we are getting industrial pollution, we are getting manufacturing units waste which has been mixed up with the water. So water is also getting polluted. The well water, the boring water is also getting polluted. And I would like to, I'm very much impressed with the lecture of Dr. Basab, because this is for the first time I am listening to the noise pollution. Very much thankful to Dr. Basab for this. So very good. And so I'm very much thankful to all the speakers, all the chairpersons, and I'm thankful to Dr. Anupama, Dr. Brajbala, Dr. Archana Base, and all the members who are listening to this webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Once my special thanks to Farmate people for giving flawless platform, and all the faculty joined from Northeast during their practice time. I think there is a little earlier practice. Like in Indore, we do practice from 6 to 8, but in Northeast, you people do practice till 6, 7 o'clock. And in spite of your busy schedule on working day, you have joined. Thank you so much. And thanks, Shashikala Madam, for staying till end for your valuable inputs, and Dr. Helen, Dr. Kevi, and Shalinia, of course, Dr. Shipra, everyone, all the faculties, and special thanks to Farmate for giving this platform. Thank you so much. We wish to continue this environment series in future also, because there is so much to talk about environment pollution. So thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you
madam.
so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.